Hello, good afternoon, Tigers, and welcome to another episode of Short Stories and Poems. I'm your host, Mr. Yearn to succeed, follow your dreams. Maybe one day I'll do a live so I can show you myself gathering my thoughts and how I set up these short stories and poems. On yesterday, I tried to do some, however, had some technical difficulties, but today's a new day. Now, I had the idea yesterday of doing a recap of 2019, and today I'm going to follow suit. But before I start, which is a part of, the recap, I just want to, me personally, say rest in peace to my godmother, Sister Lillian Pelham. Just want to say rest in peace to my godmother. May her soul rest in perpetual peace. Two things that are on the forefront of my mind when I heard she passed is wisdom in the air, wisdom everywhere. That was like a slogan, a catchphrase. And she would also say, watch out now, when she got excited to hear my ideas and things that I was working on. And she would also say, we're moving on to the top. And I miss that lady. Every holiday or Easter, she'll make these chocolates. And she would hand them out, And she would always tell me, like, if you refer somebody to get some chocolate or refer somebody to buy a book, because she was an author too, she said, I'll give you some percentage, I'll give you some cash money, so you can do whatever you want with it. So you can always have money. We would just laugh and share stories, If she was listening right now, I would just say that, I love her dearly. And please watch over me. Say hi to my father and my grandma. And I'm gonna make you proud. Yeah, I'm gonna make you proud. And I want to take this moment to dedicate this to anybody who has lost a loved one this year. Whether, grandma, a cousin, a best friend, a lover, a husband, a wife, whomever you've lost, I sympathize with you and dedicate this to you. Moment of silence. God, be with these individuals who are still mourning the loss, and bless them with comfort and strength for the days that lie ahead. So, excuse me. I feel like I was about to sneeze just there. If I had to put a title to this, as mentioned before, I want to do the recap of 2019. Now, as humans living in this globe that we call Earth, we consider it to be a world. And within that world, They're humans. And each human living on this earth goes through their own world. In a sense, they go through their own way of life. Some similar to each other, but some so far apart. And this year has been a bumpy road for a lot of us. You know, um, if it wasn't for you, congratulations. I'm very happy for you. And this doesn't take apart from the blessing that you encountered from this year, you know. And let me tell you first, for me personally, how different this year was for me. It was only till December that I realized that we were headed into a new decade. I knew we were in 2019, but it didn't register in my head that we were progressing into a new decade until December, until I just sat back and I was like, holy shit. Like, we're about to go into a new decade. It's just like, wow. Like, 10 years progressed just like that, and we're about to embark on a new decade, and I don't know if that's why a lot of things have transitioned that way. I'm not 100% sure. Like right now, as I'm speaking with you guys, I'm trying to put my mind back to 1999 and trying to see, was that the same going on for 2000? I remember that people were saying like the world is gonna end and things of that nature in 2000, yada yada yada. I remember that. Um, so with that being said, I just want to touch on why 2019. Do a recap for me personally, and I hope that you guys can relate. And also start being interactive. Don't be afraid to comment and share your experience. Don't be afraid to comment below and share how you felt this year was for you. Remember that we are all in this together. We all share commonalities. You'll be surprised to hear what somebody else went through. Like, oh, they went through that. I went through something similar. Or, sometimes it's, oh, I went through the same thing. So hearing that somebody went through it and they overcame it, can be a spark for you to overcome something you're going through, in your life. So this year was a battle for me, dealing with family, concerns, you know, um, different scares that happen within the family. Um, I experienced death, as mentioned today, but not only today, throughout the year, to close friends and loved ones that I would never imagined, them going so soon. You know, um, I got let go from my job, a job in which I believe that I committed 110% on most occasions. I dealt with anxiety, I dealt with depression. So that's a recap. I'm battling developing a brand again, and the one fear of not letting what happened to me in college, for those of you who know the story, happen again. You know, so I am dealing with these things, and I know certain people might be listening to that like, oh, I went through worse, or I went through 10 times more this year, and your worries are nothing. What you stress upon is nothing. I will pray to have your stress. And if you said that, thank you. Thank you. Because, as mentioned before, this is why I am communicating about my stress and what happened to me. If you went through worse, just know that you can climb out of it, and you can breathe again. You can climb out of it, crawl out of it, and you can breathe again. You know, um, we've all experienced things this year. Loss of friends, loss of a job, battling with financial issues, uh, working 2 or 3 jobs just to stay afloat, feeling lost, trying to figure out what road to take, being confused, being fluttered, with different things on our mind, battling with loving ourselves, trying to find a love, you know, out there, so everybody encountered some sort of stress, some sort of something weighing heavy on them, something that's kind of like leveled in a sense, so I wanted to touch base on some worldly things right now that has happened thus far in 2019. Um, we had the church bombing in Sri Lanka. We had that. We also had the shooting in the church, in the Christ Church. We had the Notre Dame fire that happened. We even had an Alabama tornado. And you guys might be thinking, a tornado? Yeah. But for Alabama, it was one of the deadliest tornadoes that has transpired within the last 5 or 6 years, I believe. So, yeah. Um, if we want to continue, we have the UNC Charlotte shooting that happened. We have the Nigerians that got murdered. Uh, I mean, the list goes on. We have the Houston police shooting where police died. We have the shootings that happened in the mall. If you're not mistaken, a couple of mall shootings have happened this year. There was one recently in, I think, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. Um, we have the death of James Kennedy. Um, we have the Jesse Smollett fake attack. The guy from Empire. We have Ashley Amaraso, the wrestler that died. I pray that I say her last name correctly. We have the death of a legend. A guy who I wish I had the chance of meeting, Nipsey Hussle. We had his death that transpired this year, which affected and still affects the lives of thousands. I want to say millions. I think thousands is not even cutting it close to the margin or magnitude rather of lives this man has affected. We also have Disney bought Fox this year. If anybody has been paying attention, and as a result of that, a lot of people lost their jobs because of that situation. Um, we have Mean Genie. We all know him, the reporter from WWE, one of the greatest reporters. He passed away. We have the death of Cameron Boyce that passed away, um, and that was a tragedy. Um, it's just like, what's going on, man? You can't like put these things into words. You can't fathom why they have happened. It's just like insane. And I kind of remember when this little, I don't want to call him a kid, as if I'm some old guy, but he was an American actor, and he passed away, and he was a Disney star, and it shocked a lot of people that he passed away. People might know him from Grown Ups. People might know him from Descendants. Um, and may his soul rest in perpetual peace. Also, anybody who's listening to this, if they were a fan of his and still is, and remembering his death, rest in peace. Juice WRLD died recently. May his soul also rest in perpetual peace. And the same thing, that I said about Cameron applies to the fans of Juice WRLD. What else happened this year? You had the shooting in El Paso, in Walmart, where 22 were killed and 24 were injured. Some call it a hate crime, some call it a terrorist attack, or some say it's worse than that. We have Chick-fil-A being banned in San Antonio. Just mentioning different things that happened this year. By all means. We have YouTube, making a lot of changes on their platform. If anybody is a YouTuber or plans to be a YouTuber or has a YouTube, they are definitely aware of the different changes that transpired. We have the stuff that's going on overseas, the things that are happening in China, if you're aware. I don't know. We have the Leaving Neverland documentary that came out this year. We also had, the R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. We had Black Panther becoming the first Marvel movie to win an Oscar. We had that. That happened. That was the good thing that happened this year. That was a good thing that happened this year. We have a lot of things that happened this year. If there are some things that I forgot to mention, please comment. Please share your thoughts. Several things happened. There was a lot of movies that came out. Avengers Endgames came out this year. We have Star Wars coming out this year. We have a lot of crime that's happening this year. I won't go into specifics, but we know what's happening out there in the world. Maybe I'll save that for another podcast. But everybody, please be careful out there in the streets. Watch your back during this holiday time. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. From everything to the weather to what's happening now. A lot of things have transpired. And yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. A lot of things happen this year. We could dissect, but I think that's something that we could be going on over and over and over again. What other things do we have here? We had the Beyonce Homecoming documentary. We had that going on, which was Pig. We have the Spike Lee's Oscar night. We have Michelle Obama and her memoir. We have a lot of talk about the climate, climate activists. We have a lot of talk about that and the global warming and how that's affecting the earth. We have the Europe, they banned plastic, the single use of plastic. So you can no longer use plastic cups, plates, forks, and spoons in Europe. We have that initiative that happened this year. You have you even have the IRS that faked forgot what school it was. You know, they faked it to deport Mexicans. You know, and you know, if people remember that happened. I forgot which university that happened to. I don't know. This year has been just a year, you know, and I pray that next year will actually be a better year, you know. With that being said, I'm just gonna end it. You know, I thank everybody for listening. Sorry if some parts sound like I'm rambling all over the place. It's just a little recap of 2019 and just get the discussion started in a sense. And I also like to post a question of describe 2019. If you made it to the end of this video, write one word that describes 2019. Or just share an event that happened this year. You know, so I know that there are a few things that I've mentioned, and there are a few things that I didn't mention. So don't be afraid. Nobody's gonna bite. You know, comment below. Let's get the conversation started. This will be the last video for 2019. So I'd like to wish everybody a safe, and a safe happy holidays. I know that this holiday, it's a little weird, has like a weird vibe to it. I know if I feel it, other people feel it out there. You know, it's not this big grand thing that we're normally used to. And think about the things that you would like to manifest in a new decade, or in a new year rather. You know, rather than having a New Year's resolution, just think about things that you would like to accomplish within a new year. All right, Tigers. I think I said enough. You know, I think so. Thank you guys for listening. I want to thank all the subscribers that came in. I want to apologize for the 3-month hiatus. As mentioned before, I think I've been taking some time to just gather myself and to gather my thoughts and to actually see if YouTube is something that I really want to pursue. You know, if YouTube is something that I really want to try to make a career out of, in a sense. If anybody has dealt with a loss, you know, whether it be a death, a friendship, a relationship that didn't work out, a job that let you go, I just want to say my condolences. And normally I say my condolences as being like funny or being sarcastic to the individuals who know me. However, my condolences, you know, and I pray in due time, you know, I was first about to say that you get over these situations, but I wanted to be sensitive and say that you heal through these situations. Not that you get over it, but that you heal through these processes. I think that's a better term to use, you know. So thank you guys for listening. Once again, I'm Mr. Yearn. Yearn to succeed, follow your dreams. You know, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And see you in the new year. You know, 2020. All right, guys, signing off. Peace, love, and agape.